Chapter 21-27. Do you dare to fight with me? The two started a chase across the vast ocean. Zhang Yi did not attack, but just kept running away. Are you kidding? With a difference of over 10,000 points in their ability index, a head-on confrontation would be tantamount to seeking death. What was he trying to achieve? Anyway, the purpose of coming here today is just to give them a warning and show the Huashu Kingdom how to react. We are not fully prepared yet, and a fight to the death is impossible. The two people were chasing each other in the sky above the sea, and the hearts of all the spectators were in their throats. But after chasing for a long time, they found that even though Zheng Lu's speed was faster than the most advanced fighter jets, he still couldn't catch up with Zhang Yi. A person with dual time and space attributes can predict Zheng Lu's movements and dodge in advance. That guy really seems to be playing with fire. Zhang Dawen said with emotion. His body was trembling slightly at this moment, because once caught by the other party, even Zhang Yi would die. However, Zheng Lu couldn't catch him. Zhang Yi had already created a very long distance in advance and moved faster than Zheng Lu, so the opponent lost the possibility of catching him. Asshole, if you're still a warrior, come over and fight me. Zhang Yi was fleeing far away when his intelligence system actually received such a signal. He raised the corners of his mouth and loudly fed back the message. What qualifications do you have to fight me, a loser who can't even catch up with me? When Zheng Lu heard this message, his eyes turned red with anger. If you continue to hide, I will kill everyone around you first. Zhang Yi said nonchalantly, whatever you want. If you dare to set foot on the land of Huashu country, someone will naturally take care of you. He knew that Zheng Lu didn't have the courage to do it. If he dared to do it, he would have done it long ago. The information provided by the 6 silver-armored generals showed that Zheng Lu was the highest combat force in the Wulwan Empire and a guardian godlike existence. Therefore, his identity determines that he will not put himself in danger. Even if he wants to act recklessly, he must consider the safety of the Wulwan Empire. After all, after his death, even if humans could no longer pose a threat to the Wulwan Empire, there were still many other civilized races in the world who were eyeing him covetously. The planet's resources are limited. Will they let go of this piece of fat meat? Streams of white smoke came out from the corners of Zheng Lu's mouth. However, he could no longer stay in the outside world. If an underground race of his level were to remain active on the surface for a long time, it would likely trigger the creator's rules of creation. Another point is that the armor on his body was severely damaged. In fact, their tribe was unable to adapt to the external environment. The composition of the air was too different from that underground, and the ultraviolet rays from the sun made him very uncomfortable. Assholes. Just wait. Sooner or later, I will kill all of you. Zheng Lu was extremely angry and a little panicked at the same time. Because Zhang Yi's growth rate was too fast, it was now certain that he had killed Pokong, and today even Zheng Lu himself found it difficult to hunt down Zhang Yi. He could only roar like this. Zhang Yi said bluntly, Zheng Lu, you'd better not cause any more trouble. If you send anyone to attack Huashu State again, I'll kill every person you send. You can't kill me now, but I can kill your subordinates. The best outcome is for us to live in peace from now on. Let the past be the past. But how can we get over the past? A mortal feud developed between the two sides, and both hated each other because so many people had died. Zhang Yi deliberately used this rogue tone to provoke Zheng Lu. From an inner perspective, Zhang Yi really had an urge to lead Zheng Lu to the Qinling Mountains. Considering the dignity of the Dragon Clan, they would certainly not sit idly by and watch an alien race invade their territory. However, Zhang Yi soon gave up this idea, because that would definitely offend the Dragon Clan, and then he might be dealt with. Zheng Lu was extremely angry, but he could not continue chasing Zhang Yi. He suddenly felt powerless. Fighting with Zhang Yi, a kid of an inferior race whose strength was far weaker than his own, was like boxing champion Mike Tyson boxing with a shadow. He stopped chasing and suddenly flew towards the direction of Huashu Kingdom, as if he wanted to find a place to vent his anger. I can't deal with you, Zhang Yi, but can I deal with your people? He decided to kill more Huashu people. At least this way he would not disappoint the people of the Wulwan Empire. This U-turn made the top leaders of the 6 districts blush. Chaos.
Stop him.
He's coming towards us. Han Shanzwa screamed, and his originally rough voice turned into a duck voice. Fear made him jump up from his chair. The southeastern coastal areas have become dead mudflats, but when entering the East China Sea region, there are coastal cities in Xinjiang region and Northeast region. God knows what Zhenglu will do to them, and how many people will die. In Xinjiang district, Meng Yuanjun and others were also dumbfounded. For a moment, even Ho Tu clenched her palms, feeling extremely nervous. But Zhang Yi just turned around and looked in the direction of Zhenglu. He thought about it for a moment and immediately came up with a solution. So he turned around and quickly flew towards the Star Island Fog Valley. Although I cannot defeat you, I cannot stop you from attacking Huashu Kingdom. However, no one in your Wulwan Empire can stop me. Let's see who is more cruel and who kills more people. By this calculation, the Wulwan Empire has been in a state of peace for a long time, with a population of tens of millions living in a space equivalent to a small or medium-sized province. How many people would die if an enemy with combat power reaching the level of a black bishop invaded and was a ruthless enemy who would do anything to achieve his goals? The gatekeeper of the underworld was also dumbfounded by Zhang Yi's actions. Originally, he wanted to use the other party's tribe to threaten Zhang Yi, but now the other party actually wants to exchange homes with him. Huashu Kingdom is now a vast country with a sparse population. He could kill, at most, hundreds of thousands of people in one attack. But if Zhang Yi rushed into the Foggy Valley, it would cause huge casualties. Even though the Wulwan Empire has a complete defense system, Zhenglu doesn't dare to take the risk. He gritted his teeth, turned around in midair, and flew over to intercept Zhang Yi. As soon as he caught up, Zhang Yi immediately distanced himself from him. Zhenglu, if you insist on destroying our nation and our race, I will fight you to the death. None of us will survive. Now you choose peace or war? Zhang Yi conveyed his will to Zhenglu through radio waves across a long distance. Chapter 21-28 Zhenglu's Fury. Zhenglu suppressed his impatience and looked coldly into the distance. With the help of high-end smart devices, he could see the human in black armor standing in midair, ready to escape at any time. This won't be the end. Just wait. From today on, every day and every night, every minute and every second, you'd better stay alert. Because I could come and kill you at any time, destroy your country, and wipe out your race. After Zhenglu made these harsh remarks, he immediately flew towards Qingdao Misty Valley. Zhang Yi didn't care about his harsh words. Because Zhang Yi didn't tell a single word of truth from beginning to end. You, the gatekeeper of the underworld, want to exterminate the entire Huashu Kingdom, and don't I, Zhang Yi, also want to kill all of your people? The so-called peace agreement is just a trap to confuse the other side. The people of the Wulwan Empire believed that the Huashu Kingdom would not be able to pose a threat to their base in the short term. What Zhang Yi needs now is time. As long as the time comes and all his preparations reach the most perfect conditions, then even if your Wulwan Empire doesn't want to fight, it will be impossible. The sea surface was calm again, and Zhang Yi was suspended in the air. Only then did he realize that his heartbeat had become extremely fast. Even though he was very clear about his current spatial travel distance, he could still escape from Zhenglu. But if you really encounter such a powerful enemy who has the ability to kill you, it is impossible not to be nervous. However, the high-ranking officials from various regions who witnessed the outcome of the negotiations were all furious after seeing the gatekeeper of the underworld give up on hunting down Zhang Yi and being forced back into the underground world. Has chaos become so powerful now? Even the arrogant gatekeeper of Hades is helpless against him now. I suddenly feel that I'm not that scared anymore. He's not a god, just an alien who's a little more powerful than us. At this moment, the fear of the gatekeeper of the underworld in many people's hearts faded a lot, and they achieved demystification. But I think this state is actually quite good. Han Shanzwa made such a sound. Now, the gatekeepers of chaos and the underworld can achieve a state of mutual restraint. With him around, The Wulwan Empire will not dare to easily send people to attack us in the future. So, is this battle still necessary? These words caused many people to think. But it was quickly refuted by the taciturn Ho-Tu. The current balance is only temporary. The people of the Wulwan Empire are not stupid. Sooner or later they will realize that the dragons will not fight for us. Moreover, this world's constraints on underground civilizations are slowly weakening. By that time, they will still break out of the surface and attack us. Don't be too optimistic, it will lead to our death. With more contact with the Dragon Clan, the Xinjiang region has mastered many secrets about the ancient times. Even if it is not as much as Zhang Yi knows, it is not a small amount. So Ho-Tu was more sober. Han Shanzhua frowned and finally said nothing more. Zhang Yi stared at the direction where Zheng Lu left. He estimated in his mind that this time he could at least give the other party some shock and delay him for a while. He won't need much longer. 1 month, for Lu Qian to repair the Songyuan clan's super battleship and master its use. For Lu Qian to extract a large amount of energy materials, provide them to the mechanical army, and provide energy to Ling. Well, Zhang Yi felt a little embarrassed to say this. He was really too dependent on Lu Qian. It turns out that smart people are of great use. What remains is to concentrate the resources of each major region and conduct training among the extraordinary people. We can't let our guard down yet. I have to keep an eye on the coastal areas during this period. We must prepare for the worst-case scenario. If the people of the Wulwan Empire are willing to take a gamble and insist on launching an attack, I must take the people around me and leave immediately. But even if the worst-case scenario happens and Huashu falls, I will kill more than 99% of the tens of millions of people in the Wulwan Empire. The worst plan in Zhang Yi's mind was to change the tactics. He is neither ruthless nor insecure in his position, and he never compromises with others. Only this kind of ruthless way of doing things can make others feel afraid and dare not bully you. Zhang Yi thought about it and sent a message to Li Guangxiao in the East China Sea region. Li Shuai, send your men to patrol the ocean area. We must always pay attention to the movements of the Wulwan Empire. If any of their people move out, tell me immediately, and I will take action. Li Guangxiao pondered for a moment before responding. We did send patrols before, but they were all killed by the Wulwan Empire. Necessary sacrifices must not be made softly. Drones can be used for coordinated patrols to minimize risks. Zhang Yi said seriously. Okay, I understand. Li Guangxiao immediately ordered his soldiers to patrol the southeastern waters 24 hours a day. The ocean is too vast to be explored using drones alone, as the battery life is not enough. So people can only sail out. This risk is very high, but in order to collect real-time intelligence on the sea area, we can only gamble with human lives. Zhang Yi returned to Blizzard City. After this battle, the people of Huashu finally breathed a sigh of relief. At least they slapped the gatekeeper of the underworld in the face, and their fear of the Wulwan Empire was greatly reduced. But doing so is not without risk. Zhang Yi exposed part of his strength, which would make the gatekeepers of the underworld wary. However, Zhang Yi felt that it didn't matter. Because when the war really starts, he won't fight the gatekeeper of the underworld on his own. He relies on Ling, Yang Xinxin's war planning, and a large number of mechanical army troops. After Zhang Yi returned to Blizzard City, he found that Zhu Zheng had come to the resettlement area of Tianhai City and was waiting for him at Tianhai Fortress. As soon as Zhang Yi came back, he brought a group of people with him and came forward with a smile. Brother Zhang Yi, what you did this time was so satisfying. You really made our Huashu nation proud. As soon as he stretched out his hand, the strange people behind him appeared in front of Zhang Yi. Some are familiar faces, and some are new faces. Old acquaintances Tu Yunlai, Linghu Feishue, and the captain of the demon squad, Taotai Lu Huang, are among them. In addition to them, there are some new people joining. The strength of these people has reached the peak of their potential, the limit of 9,800 to 9,999 points. Theoretically speaking, unless one encounters a second mutation through a fortuitous encounter, or obtains the spirit of sacrifice and the source of God, It is difficult to enter the realm of Ipsilon. But they are already the second-tier aliens in Blizzard City. Staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.